welcome back to the Pullze Check podcast. Guys, it is now a week after the last podcast, like exactly, and we have an update today. And listen, I'm gonna start off the podcast by saying, for the first time, at least in my opinion, in a long time, Raven Software missed. For the first time in a long time, I'm gonna say this right now. I am disappointed in Raven Software, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there. I am the biggest Raven Software glazer. I love them. They do an amazing job. I literally do. I'm gonna be honest. I glaze Raven Software. They're an insane, amazing, team. But I'm gonna be honest. We gotta call it how it is. That's the way this podcast is meant to be. And they definitely missed today. They missed today, and I'm a little nervous. And I mean, let's kind of discuss. I guess you know what? Screw it. I was gonna do the comp stuff today. Let's start with this, man. Today was an update, chat. There was an update today, and there really wasn't. It wasn't an update. It wasn't an update.
There was though. There was other updates. There were.
JGOD, yeah. But
did you read the other part?
I did.
I'll get to it.
I did.
Not about the weapon. Not about the weapon.
I know the bugs. Yeah, I saw the bugs, which is cool.
The official bug fixes.
Okay, so JGOD, can you? Okay, look. Before I go in, go ahead, JGOD. Tell us about the bugs. Tell us about the bugs. I want to hear about the bugs. Tell me.
Well, the most important bug change was the gulag one, where people can get stuck in the gulag. They said they fixed that. That was a big enough issue where people were losing games on win streaks. Luckily, now they've gone and set the record again, and now it's an official 57 or 64 games or something stupid. It's a high number, and it's all of them counted, so we're good there. But the other part is when it comes to the weapon balancing, but you're going to break it down, the problem with it. But normally when it comes to weapon balancing, there's only a couple things they change. Recoil, damage. They do not change rate of fire, because if they speed up a gun and then it jumps into that, it fires the same rate as another gun. Yeah. If they slow it down, and now it fires the same rate as another gun. There's so many damn guns in the game that they can't just raise and lower the fire rate. So that's typically doesn't work. But they can change recoil. They can make them slower or whatever, and then they can modify damage, change headshot multiplier. There's a couple issues with the MTZ. They did nerf it, but it's still 3 to 4 shots to kill on paper. But the problem is, before you needed only 1 headshot to get 3. Now you need 2 headshots. So it is a difference. Yeah. But the problem is, neck shots do the same damage as headshots. So they could have maybe tried this to go it where if it was a neck shot, then it would still count as a chest shot. So then you would actually need 2 headshots. Versus right now you need 2 headshots or neck shots. And a body shot. Yeah. So if you're aiming for the body, you could actually not even hit them in the head. You get 2 neck shots by hitting upper chest. And they're dead in 3 bullets. They're still dead in 3 bullets. So that's the problem, that they didn't attack it hard enough. They should have nerfed it in the ground. To the ground. So
that's the topic that I kind of want to discuss, right? And I want to sit and dwell on this and have a discussion with chat and even you guys, right? Obviously, I'm very... Listen, man, I'm a realist, right? Like, I'm gonna keep it $150 with y'all. I'm a little bit scared, boys, because I've always said this, and I'll continue to say this, is why, if there's guns that are that broken and are actually causing, in my opinion, like a lot of negative feedback to the community, and a lot of people don't like it. Like, literally, I don't think I've seen anybody be like, yo, I love the MTZ Interceptor, it's so fun to use. Like, I genuinely haven't seen one person say that.
People do, though. That's the people that are bad at the game.
Yeah. So, okay, right. Okay, let's say that obviously there is going to be those people, right? There are people. My question is, there are so many people that literally hate it, right? The time to kill, they have this time to kill window that they're trying to hit, and they are incredibly beyond that. It's super fast, right? So here's my question, man, and it's why do they choose to do minor update, as opposed to, yo, let's just nerf this shit to the ground and then slowly bring it back up, right? What does that do? That introduces a new meta that makes it literally feel like a new game, because that gun that everybody's using is no longer viable, so you're forced to use a new gun. What does that do? Makes the game feel fresh. So it's like, okay, RPK meta for 6 months because they said, yeah, sure, we'll nerf it, and then little nerf.
That wasn't enough.
Instead of just nerfing it to the ground and then, okay, build it back up. Same thing, Lockman or MP5. Yeah, Lockman sub last year. Meta, it might even been meta for more than
Lockman has been Lockman or MP5 have been meta for 4 years.
The Lockman was basically meta all of Warzone 2.
Yeah, we had two
all
metas.
Of Warzone 1, all of Warzone 2.
Literally, we had two metas. It was Cronin or RPK for the most part, right? And so I guess this again. Raven Software has had a track record of a bunch of W's, at least so far this year, right? Crazy good communication, W. Nerfing the shotgun, the attachment, W. Nerfing the snake shots, W. Nerfing the DG56 or something 56?
The burst.
That one. Whatever it was, the burst.
Not the burst and boys, the single fire one, right? Didn't they nerf that one too?
Preemptively.
Yeah. They nerfed all these guns in a matter of like a week or two, right? Huge W. And now I'm obviously this is again, they had a lot of W's and then they have one L. Obviously the L's always scream louder than the W's, right? But I am a little nervous. Go ahead, JGOD.
Well, I'll say this too, because there's some confusion with certain things. Obviously there's a big update coming next week.
Yeah.
We understand that. I saw a couple people mention, hey, there's some bugs like the wall breach stuff or that clip with Tim and Z-Laner and stuff. Obviously, those are important, but those get fixed in title updates. Map changes get fixed in title updates. So the reason why it's a big deal, I think, this week is because it's clear that they could change it. But it's like, why didn't make the necessary changes to... That's why it's more of an issue. The other things will come through. We understand that like the game shouldn't be perfect after this first update because a lot of stuff that has to wait for a title update, which is next week. And there's other issues that are going on right now that we could definitely make a bigger deal about next week if they don't get fixed.
Yeah.
But this week, 100% the weapons were able to change. So it's like, why didn't it change?
I felt like there was a headline, MTZ Interceptor is going to get nerfed today, and we just didn't get that. Like we understood the bugs were going to get fixed, but it felt like the tweets and the way that it was like presented was that the headline was MTZ gets MTZ Interceptor gets nerfed today. And we just didn't get that. So I think, it was definitely a little misleading, a little like just kind of a letdown.
I mean, look, man, again, like I understand, right? I don't want to be the one that's, whispers the success and screams their failures, right? Because I think we've been pretty vocal the last 2-3 weeks about them being so quick on all the updates when it comes to shotgun, DG, all the crazy guns that they've done. And then there's one gun that I feel like we've all been saying, even before they went on break, hey, like, great, fix the snake shots, but the MTZ Interceptor is insane, and then they get back from break, which is great. And like, I just thought, and I think the only reason why we're quote unquote like complaining or like a little like, damn, I think I can say that this is Raven Software's first L, is that like I don't want them to be scared to nerf guns. We feel like they've been scared to nerf guns all of last year. We had the same metas for 6 months, and this year it just like, I don't want it to be the same thing, right? So it is what it is. Do I think that they next week fix things? I hope so, man. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I think they may do what I was suggesting with the damage, where they're going to make it so that the chest and the neck match probably. So then you will not get two headshots out of 3 is way harder than with the neck shot. You know what I mean? So you will run into it less likely. That'll make it still viable, but people will probably avoid running it unless because right now with the 3 shots too consistent with the upper neck or the neck shot in there. I don't know what we'll see next week. I know there's a lot of things that people are going to be more concerned about next week.
Yeah.
Whether it's that exfil stuff or the weapon briefcase or whatever. We get nukes. There's like a million things come into the game for like battle royale, not million, but you know what I mean? Where it's literally going to change how the maps are played. So then people will probably just be like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We get 2 new weapons.
I hope at least one of those. Again, another thing that we've also been very vocal about is with new guns, I would hope that obviously there's a fine line, right? Is that they come out really good. Like if there's a new weapon, it should be pretty good in the contention of quote unquote metas, or in the realm of like, yo, this is pretty fun. Like, let's use it, right? Because so many times we've seen like, what was that 3-round burst gun, the SMG, the MP5, that just was like, it was good, but it really wasn't good, but it was good. It was it was like a weird little, But yeah, man, the shroud. That what that's what it's called. So yeah, man, I hope that next week we get some good gun changes. And again, it's been 1 month, right? But again, I don't want to say that like, oh, this year is doomed, right? Again, we've seen them do 3 weeks of like amazing updates. What I more specifically am trying to say is like, I think people need to understand that the community is scarred, bro. Like we're scarred, bro. We've all last year, we got no updates to guns. It was like so stale. And the reason why, and just answering some questions in chat, the reason why we're like, damn, they said we're gonna get an Interceptor nerfed, but it's not nerfed. So now we're like, fuck, like it's automatically like, it's like, oh, are we going back to what it was? It's not that. It's not necessarily that we're super pissed off that it didn't get nerfed, but it's more of like, okay, how is the future going to be? I just think, I'll be honest, the community's scarred. That's why there's a lot of negative feedback to today. You go and look 100%. You go and look at all the comments of that the MTZ tweet. The comments are like, bro, this ain't even nerfed. This ain't even nerfed. And again, it's not that like, it's just like, bro, I think it's very easy for them to just nerf it to the ground. Like, nerf it to the ground, work it back up. At least in my opinion. But I know based off what we've seen the last 2 to 3 years.
Even if it had a hair more recoil, people wouldn't use it.
Yeah. I feel like there's stuff.
The recenter speed. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to it. Make it slower, recenter speed, vault the bigger round mag. The 10-round mag would be so hard to use. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do.
Even if you lowered that, like you said, the 10-round mag, like things like that, man. I mean, Ebatez, what do you think about the update in general? Like, is it like, okay, like I don't think we should be judging this update based on the future, but I will say, yes, you're right. It is like, it does feel a little bit like, oh, like, it's like when your boyfriend / girlfriend says like they're gonna change, and then like they're doing great for 3 weeks, and then like they do one little thing bad. It's like,
that's your example.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Oh shit, that's not say Ashley or anything. I'm just saying.
I think it would have been better if they just were like, hey, like, stand by. We're still working on the MTZ Interceptor. Like, hang on for a week or something. But for today, here are the bug fixes and everything. I think a lot of people are like, all right, cool. Like, yeah, that sucks. We have to deal with the Interceptor again for another week, but mid-season update, I think a lot of people would understand. It's just it's when you promise something and it's like not, it just feels like they didn't deliver on their promise. You know what I mean? Like, MTZ Interceptors for sure get nerfed today, and it just didn't. So I think that's where people get disappointed. I think, and like you said, it's the communication. If they were like, hey, just hang on for another week, one more week, and we'll have the Interceptor, completely gone, then we need another week to fix it. Everyone would be like, dang, that sucks. We got to go another week with it, but whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens, right? And it is what it is, bro. It is what it is, and we'll wait to see what happens next week. Do I think that they're gonna do anything? I guess honestly, man, it all depends on the feedback, the community feedback, and I think
they'll nerf it again.
I don't know. Like, I'm scared. I don't know. I don't even know what exactly they're gonna do, but I hope that next week brings in abundance of weapon changes. Again, this might have been like a little band-aid fix. Didn't everybody use it today in the tournament?
Yeah, it was cooking. I was fine with it.
Okay. All right, man. Okay. All right. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, chat. Again, it doesn't really feel like it got nerfed. It got nerfed like very slightly. I would say like maybe 10%. Is that a good number, boys, to give it?
I don't know. It got nerfed where it's, I don't know.
It felt the same.
Yeah, it definitely felt like probably like at some certain gunfights you're like, oh, okay, this feels a little nerfed. But then most gunfights, I mean, I saw that Symphony clip and it was like, yo, but so
yeah, it's just so much better than every other gun. 5. So it's like, it's just crazy how it feels like, because it's so much better than every gun, even the 10% nerf, you're still like, oh, this is the best gun in the game.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see, man. I hope this is just like, again, just to end this topic, I don't want to minimize what Raven has done over the last 3 weeks, right? I mentioned it multiple times that they've done an insane amount of stuff by nerfing all these other guns before and then obviously the first sign of them not nerfing a gun, we get a little scared, right? But again, that's not to minimize what they've already done.
Year.
Yeah. That's not to minimize what they've done. They've already nerfed so many guns. I wish they would have nerfed MTZ to the ground, because it is not the greatest, right? So okay, let's move on to the next topic, boys, and that's competitive Call of Duty at the moment, man. Let's talk about, do you guys ever think we'll get to the point where we'll have a league? I know, like, let's say, for example, today, chat, for those of y'all that didn't know, there was a competitive tournament today, and it's
semi-competitive.
Yeah, semi-competitive. There was a tournament today.
It was quads, and it wasn't. There were mixed random teams, and there was a lot of content creators.
I get it. Like, trust me, I will say this. I understand the purpose of these. They throw, like, Activision throw these to have fun, right? And obviously there's a place for that, and I do like that they have those. But it feels like there's been a lot, at least for the last 2-3 weeks. There's only been one quote unquote competitive tournament, I feel like. Actually, the first week of the Warzone 2v2s. But I guess the trios customs, there's only been one tournament. And I mean, I would hope that one day, bro, like, we can get some type of competitive format in here, bro. I like, what do you, I don't know. Talk to me.
Here's what I'm hoping is that I actually enjoyed, like, tournament today was super fun. I loved it. And it was great. The problem I'm having is that we have a competitive tournament, right? Let's say the Optic 200K as an example is the only tournament we've had, where we have content creator captains, okay? Not so great players as far as competitive, professional, whatever. And we throw them in a sweaty competitive format, and they just get shit on, and it's they didn't have a good time. It's super competitive, and the team, like, they just got ran out by Soka Shifty and whoever. And then we get to these tourneys today, and we have, which are great. They're super fun. But even today, we had super competitive teams. Like, I was playing with Tifa, Jesse, and two others. We died to, like, Biffle, Huskers, Tommy, and Smith. And it's like, can we just let's host both content teams or content tourneys, competitive tourneys, but let's stop mixing the captains. Let's make the competitive tourneys competitive. Let's make the content creation tourneys content. I know a lot of competitors wouldn't mind missing out on the content or being a captain in a content creator tourneys if it meant we had competitive tourneys. Like, I'm sure Huskers would be like, oh, it's fine I didn't get invited to the bingo because we have the competitive tourneys here. Like, we have 100K, next week where I'm going to compete. And he could still play with a captain, a content creator captain, but that's the problem I'm having, is that we're mixing the two, and then we're basically throwing the content creators into the mix of a competitive tournament, and then we have TBE, you know what I mean? Or, okay, sorry, they're not together, but you get what I'm saying. It's like we need to make the competitive tournaments, the competitive formatted tournaments competitive, and the content created tourneys content creators. Like, right. And like I said, today, like, it was just like Soka Shifty, Almond, and Selly just flying at, like, my team, who just is like like not so great players, right? We're just kind of getting shit on in in a tournament that's supposed to be fun. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, I mean, Shanice just said, but the comp folks show interest in the fun ones. Okay,
that's fine.
I'm gonna be honest.
Don't give the comp players captain spots. They will still be a part of the event. I promise you. Let's use Huskers as an example, since I just used him. I'm sure everything Allie, she'll get a captain spot. She's a content creator, and she would pick up Huskers. Husker would still be a part of the event, but he's not the captain, so we're not just stacking teams in these crazy content.
Who was the captain in this one? Because Biffle said he didn't get a captain spot when I was
Tommy
watching
or Huskers. It was Huskers. So then,
and it's like, how is that super team available though?
Right.
Yeah.
So there maybe we have to put a rule where it's like 2 pros per team or something. But anyways, my point is, I think a lot of the players, the competitors, would be okay missing out on a content creator tourney, or even just not even being a captain, maybe just playing with a content creator, if it meant that we got the competitive tourneys where they were actually competitive and we made sure that captains were competitive.
Yeah. I mean, look, like I said, like it's, we've seen what like competition does for a scene. Let's just be honest. Let's take Apex for an example, right? Apex is, at least I feel like from the outside looking in, all Apex is competitive. Like, it doesn't even seem like
silly tourneys. I don't think.
Even then, like, it doesn't even seem like a casual game. And we see, like, when they're in off season, bro, numbers for Apex are like low. But when they're in season, brother, they are thriving, right? So we've seen what it does like a competitive scene, and it's these content creation tournaments are fun. Don't get me wrong, like I don't want to be the fun sucker, right? Like oh, get rid of these. No, like
I had a great time today. Great time today.
But it feels like there hasn't really been any quote unquote like fun tournaments. I mean, sorry, competitive tournaments since the game has came out. There's been one. I feel like you could say one, which is the Optic 100K, and I was so dude, especially because
that wasn't even that competitive though. Like there was teams in there that just stunk.
Yeah, but for the dude, Pots, we're comparing apples to oranges. Like, bro, like that is the most competitive we've had, and it was match point. We could
be so much better. Let's make the competitive tournaments. Let's make them competitive. You know what I mean?
No, I
think the only way you could really keep good, like the best players out, is by lowering the winning. I know it sounds stupid, but lowering the payout for how much you can earn, because I think there's a lot of people that would rather do their kill bets or other wager stuff or whatever. If the tournament, they're likely to only win. I say only. A few $1,000s.
Yeah, I mean, like, Shitty, trust me, I get you. Like, I'm not.
With that money, make it a bigger one for the other tourney, you know?
Like, this is another thing. Like, all these tournaments, right? I guess we all understand that World Series of Warzone, let's just say the season is April through August, right? Or April through September. We know that is dedicated for competitive Call of Duty, right? But like, let's say, for example, the biggest thing in CDL that they complain about is like, bro, in the off season, there's nothing to do. Even right now, they took a month plus break, right? And it's like, what do we do in that time frame, right? You lose a lot of momentum. Is there a way to, in the quote unquote Warzone off season, to have still tournaments produced by Activision, right? Like all these tournaments. And for example, for one fun tournament, do one competitive, one fun one, or whatever, right? Right now, it does seem to be heavily favored to the fun ones, unless like that's what they're trying to do. Then I get it. They just want the season one to be all fun. But obviously we are biased because we love the competitive side of things. Like I'm not gonna watch Party of Bingo tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like
yeah,
like, not in a bad way. You know, not in a bad way. But like I'm not gonna watch Party of Bingo tournament, right? But I would love to see. I hope right in the future is we can kind of come up with something, whether it be World Series of Warzone, whether it be like, 6-7 months of competitive. It'd be really cool to see some type of league implemented. And again, I would drop everything to just help out in that, bro. I would do anything for that.
Well, I think it's the part that sucks is way too early, right, for any of that type of stuff. Only because like last year was our first, even though we had World Series of Warzone before that, last year was essentially the first official World Series of Warzone, in my opinion. And there's an assumption we'll have another one, but until it's announced, there's no guarantee that it's even going to be a thing to be putting those steps in place, right? Because that's what's good with Apex. They know they have the ALCS finals, and this is their schedule, and it's assumed. Until COD says, hey, you know what? World Series of Warzone is going to be on, I don't know, September 19th or whatever the hell, and it's going to be in this continent or wherever the hell. It's really hard to strategize what an off season is. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's really part of the part with the laying things out because of that. And I think things will start to fall in place once that happens, because there'll be more tournaments. People will take practice more seriously. They're going to be, even the events, people are going to lock in their schedules, their team, everything lines up once there's an end goal.
I will say last year, the thing that sucked about last year is once we announced World Series, that was everyone's focus. So we had 6 months of just or 5 months of just pure World Series, which was, I guess, fine. But there was a lot of downtime. There was a lot of downtime. But I will say it would have been nice to throw in. I guess the Lions versus Drakes kind of saved it. Honestly, in my opinion, I thought it was such a good switch up. It was such a good switch up and kind of just kept the momentum going of this is something different. And obviously it helped teams like Shifty. They even said that it helped Shifty, Biffle, and Sage get their confidence up. I like that. We threw in some tournaments in between World Series. So hopefully this year, if we do get a World Series, we mix in some of the content creator tourneys. I'm down with it. Like I said, I'm down for the content creator tourneys. We should have a balance of the both.
Yeah, I think there needs to be a balance, right? If May or March, whatever, is the competitive side, whenever World Series of Warzone does get announced, then, I mean, at least what I saw last year was almost everything was kind of competitive. I guess the non-competitive stuff, because I don't want it to be yo, bro, Ebatez, me saying that, it isn't competitive to do fucking, what's it called? To do fucking, Resurgence, right? That's not what I'm saying. But there was a lot of tournaments that were Resurgence. And even though we were in the season of World Series of Warzone, at least I felt, I was like, okay, we should probably be doing trios customs tournaments to kind of use that as marketing to hype up the World Series of Warzone. For example, right now, I feel like there should be Resurgence tournaments because we're gonna be hyping up what's it called, the new maps coming out, I would hope, right? And I think Shanice and them are pretty good about this. Like whenever Fortune's Keep comes out, whenever Rebirth comes back, there will be tournaments for that, right? I think that'd be really good.
Are.
Yeah, I think they're really good. And last year it kind of did seem like what's that one called?
We had Lions versus Drakes.
Lions versus
the
Drakes.
year before that, we had King Kong versus Gorilla. King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah. It's Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
So that one, like, I feel like they were kind of misplaced. Maybe I was talking to the guys and they were like, "Yo, we don't have any practice, any competitive practice for 8 weeks leading into the World Series of Warzone," right? Which I was like, damn, it's kind of tough, right? Like, so like right now, I guess this is the time to kind of throw out the fun ones. Maybe this is just me being needy, but I would like to see some more competitive, hopefully in season 2, season 1.5, some more competitive tournaments. Even 2v2s, they're not competitive because it's not trios customs, but I do like 2v2s. I think they're very fun. When we're able to see the best of the best compete against each other, at least my opinion. What do you guys enjoy the fun creator ones? Is it something that you guys enjoy watching? Obviously it's still cool for me personally, but I prefer to watch the best of the best duos go at it and just like have like that's just me though.
I love them and we need them. Honestly, we genuinely need the content creator tourneys. Like the bingo today was great. It was fun, but let's just give not competitors captains. Like let's give content creators captain spots in the content creator tourneys. That's all I'm saying. But we do need content creator tourneys. Like bingo was great, hide and seek was so fun, but let's get like I said, it's just a matter of splitting the two, and rather than hosting a competitive tournament and giving a spot to Hisoka, you know, and then giving all the other spots to like just not great competitors, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing is I wish we could split the two.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're not saying, just so a couple people in the chat, we're not saying that we don't want the fun tournaments. They're great. At least Ebatez is saying he wishes that they got the captain spots, which I completely agree if it's going to be a fun tournament. I think on my end, I just want to see a good balance of both. Again, it feels like the first month of tournaments, which let's just be honest. Let me just add a side note, because let's just be grateful real quick that we even have tournaments. Let me just
have customs last year.
So Shanice and all the team over there, I don't want you guys to think that we don't want, or like that we're ungrateful, right? Let's just as a community,
we're just always gonna want better, even though it's so good right now. We're always gonna want better. So 100%.
Yeah, we last year we had nothing until like literally summer. So you know, but going into that, I'm just saying, like, I think it'd be really cool if we had a little bit of a balance of the both, right? Like today was cool. I saw some good feedback. I saw a lot of bad feedback, but nobody's gonna say it like on the TL because they want to get invites again. But a lot of people, I saw a big mix of both, good and bad.
What did you see? Because for me personally, I will watch a custom. Like even if we're not watch partying, I'll watch a custom. I'll watch a 2v2. I don't generally watch creator ones.
Yeah, I mean,
it's always a blowout. No matter I can already pick who's gonna win. Like if he listed the names of the teams, I'd be like, yeah, that Biffle team's probably gonna do well. This other team's probably gonna do well, and then everyone else will be like, okay, cool, it's fun. But for me personally, I don't watch them. What was the feedback for them though?
Yeah, I guess that's the thing is like, I think this is a common misconception, right? And Shanice, I'm gonna keep it $150 with you. I think everybody's just scared to say their honest feedback. And again, if any competitors are watching this, like Shanice and Rob are not these scary monsters, you know, like they're not like, they want to hear what you guys have to say. They want to hear your honest feedback, you know? So I think a lot of the competitors are scared to say how they actually, because they want to get reinvited back or they don't want to get blacklisted. And so that, I think there needs to, just for any competitors here, I think people just need to be okay with just being honest, right? Like that's just a side note, right? But besides the point, again, we've had way more tournaments in the last month than we had the first 3 months, 4 months. You know what I'm saying? And
it's been fun.
Like I think we've had a good amount of tournaments, but I hope again that we can maybe one day get to a league, but that has nothing to do with Activision. I think that's more like World Series Awards, which I guess, yeah, I guess, bro. Feedback was positive today, so I hope people enjoyed 12 more. No, chill, Shanice, chill. She said 12 more bingo events, bro. No, chill. Oh, man. But like, yeah, man, I don't know, chat. I hope this season 2, season 3, season 4, we're in for like a good mix of both, right? Because I do think there should be a way for content creators to shine. And again, I would hope, I know it's hard to do for these type of things. I really do like the thought of having like a lot of people being involved in tournaments. But the only thing that's tough is being able to involve a lot of people in open events, when the only way to have open events that let more people come through is to host a 2-day tournament and then one probably have timed kill races, and then it comes into VPNs and stuff like that, so it gets a little difficult because
where you live, there's too many variables.
I thought a lot of people in the chat were saying like, how come there's not more opportunity for a lot more people to play, and I agree to a certain extent, right? Obviously, I think Call of Duty does a good job at inviting as many people as possible. Just know, for those of y'all who don't know, it does get a little bit tricky when having to do kill races for time, because it can be a lot of scummy stuff involved with that. So yeah, I mean, the community is kind of shooting themselves in the foot when it comes to that kind of stuff. So
yeah. Well, also to add on to that, I mean, it's not going to be easy to make it into tournaments. Like, there's only a handful of spots. Yeah. It's like saying you want to be into the pro league, but like you're not willing to play in challengers, or you're not even good enough to make it in challengers. There are like every day you can run up against, not maybe everyone, but there's a lot of people that are willing to play for money that are these top pro players. Unless you're willing to bet against them and play them for money and actually think you're going to win, they're probably not going to even know who you are. They're not gonna, so if Ebatez gets a captain spot, he knows from probably sleepers that are under the radar right now that he'd be like, cool, I got a captain spot. I'm going to invite these 2 shooters. And that's their opportunity. They either perform or they don't. That's usually how it goes. It's not like he's going to pick up random people he never heard of. Like, he's going to pick people he knows. And that's how most of the captain spots, because he wants to win.
Yeah.
No one goes in the tourney, let me pick 2 scrubs that I've never heard of. That's not how it works. You have to do the grind, put in the time.
Especially
that's
for
hard.
customs.
Yes,
I will say,
hard.
when bad teams go into customs, they die off rip, and they're just like sitting there for 30 minutes while now doing a watch party, and it's like a huge negative like sentiment.
I will agree to what JGOD said, man, and I'm like, and this is like, I think sometimes the generation needs to have somebody tell it how it is, and I think JGOD is spot on. And it's like, if you are as good as a lot of people think they are, then go out and prove it. Right? There's so many people. If you're that good, bro, if you were that good, like I'm talking like so many people are like, oh, I'm better than this person. I'm better than this person. Okay, well, prove it. In my opinion, like if there is, if there is people that are, oh my God, thank God you said that, Rob, so I can talk about it. But like there are people, like you will get noticed, but I mean, it just sucks. I hate to say it, but 90% of the time, there's only going to be the select few Biffles, the select few, what's it called? Aidens, the select few Adrians. There's not that many Breadmans, and I think if you are that good, then you will make it. So that's just,
and people come out of nowhere all the time. Like even the example you just said with Adrian, like where the hell did he come from? He was a minor. He couldn't compete for the tourneys. So he was out there grinding his shit with no viewers.
Yeah. Even Dongi, like we can use him as an example. He worked his ass off and, got #1 in ranked. And then
that helps.
He had a bad performance at LAN, but it doesn't matter. What he proved, in stage 1 and stage 2 was enough for Unrational and Scummin to pick him up. So I think a lot of people come into it thinking like, oh, I need to play with the best. And it's like, I had this conversation with Vonbot. He was like, oh, like I need to find a team. And I'm like, dude, you need to find a team that you want to play with, go play the best, especially because you just played a tournament with Soka and Shifty. You need to find a team that you can prove yourself with. You know what I mean? You got to start somewhere as a competitor. So there's too many people, that think like, oh, I just need to get like to the top. Just like,
You will. You'll get noticed, bro. I think you guys need to understand, chat, that like a lot of these competitors want to win money. And if there's some youngin or somebody new to the scene that's insane that nobody hears of, you will get offers from everybody. Why? Because at the end of the day, D dropped me. D dropped Swag. D dropped Evan. Like, these top players don't give a fuck if you're their friend. I'm gonna be honest. They don't care how much clout you have. They want to win, right? So like at the end of the day, if you are good and you there's a lot of ways to prove it, man. There's a switcheroo right now in like an hour with like you can just participate, you know, and just as long as you put in money, you know. So you know, but yeah, I mean, so I want to talk about something that Rob just said, and I was always scared to talk about this because I never knew if I could say it or not. But like I've hinted at it, but he said it, so it's free game now. But chat, everybody needs to understand. This is another thing about why don't you guys invite everybody, like all these people? Why do you invite like all the lesser known people? Okay, chat, let's have a little conversation about business. How do you guys think they get money to produce these tournaments? Where do you think how do you think 100K comes from, 25K, 50K? Where do you guys think this money comes from? It doesn't just come out of thin air, right? There are sponsors. And how do you get sponsors? It is viewers. A lot of people might not understand this concept, but at the end of the day, the type of tournament or the formats that get the most views are more than likely what they're going to be using, right? But there are certain tournaments where maybe viewership isn't their number one priority, right? World Series of Warzone, that shit viewership was to the fucking moon, right? Like those stage 1, stage 2, like that, at least from my data collecting, the viewership on that was insane. And I'm gonna be honest, no other tournaments got even close to that amount of viewership. And that's that we had a dead game, right? So at the end of the day, guys, they're gonna do whatever is necessary to continue to evolve World Series of Warzone or competitive or even just Warzone viewership, right? Because like whenever you start to make something too competitive or even too casual and people lose interest, viewership declines. What also happens, viewership declines, sponsors go down, money goes down. That's the end of the whole competitive scene or tournament scene, right? So remember, guys, these are, as far as, I don't want to know if World Series of Warzone is, but most tournaments are, go ahead.
I'll add to this too. So like some of these tournaments, I think they could benefit from drops.
Yeah.
Like if it's really about viewership, I don't know how drops like are done with Twitch's end, but like literally giving away double XP tokens or double weapon XP is more than enough for drops. You don't need some bundle or skin or whatever.
Should be in the chat, you know what I mean?
Wow,
You know,
I haven't even thought about like
because-
that for tournaments. That's
So like, for example, like yesterday, or was it yesterday? 2 days ago. I don't know. My days are blended now. But we had like an 8-hour watch party, right? But the tournament ran like 8 or 9 hours. There could have been drops on that day for anyone in the tournament, which would help the viewership or whatever. But on top of that, like I mentioned with the Tarkov, I don't know how they had their stuff set up, but there's literally drops where it's a 12-hour window. And you have to watch COD between that 12-hour window. And to get all the rewards, you'd have to watch a maximum of 9 hours to get all the rewards. So like, for example, on that day, an hour before, an hour after, whatever, boom, 10 hours, you could watch this tourney. And if you watch this tourney on any competitor, I don't know what that cost on that end. Rob might know, but like that just pushes those things for those viewers. So I don't know how that works, but that would be cool to have that more regularly for all the channels involved.
Yeah, so Rob said that drops are a wider marketing initiative and we did them based on months, so not specific tournaments. The art for them is too resource heavy to give away for a single tournament unless it is World Series of Warzone. We had drops all through November and December. So pretty much, chat, when they say like resources, it's like it costs too much money to give drops out for one tournament. Right, I would assume that's the case, except for he said World Series of Warzone, which I agree. World Series of Warzone should have some insane drops.
Definitely.
What was last year's? we had drops last year. I just don't remember what exactly it was.
Not for World Series of Warzone. We didn't have it. It was only on the main broadcast.
I thought we had like a calling card or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Main broadcast.
No?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, man. I at the end of the day, I like what we're doing. I think is good right now. I hope. I know this is definitely higher than Rob and Shanice and all them. This is like maybe Activision at the top. It'd be cool if they said, you know what, we want to start a league to market better. Let's see for a year, 2 years, how the numbers look and if this is like profitable, right? Because again, let's kind of talk about transition to a game like Fortnite, right? Is competitive not profitable? Because I guess I'm going two different ways with this. We saw Fortnite World Cup was kind of the craziest thing, at least from the outside looking in. Warzone World Cup was insane. It felt like it had crazy marketing. It was an insane amount of people tuning in. I would think that it was hella profitable, in my opinion, right? But they stopped it. For what?
Yeah, it was a one and done.
For what reason? Like, why did they stop it? What was the purpose of them stopping it? What made, was it too much money, right? Like, because in my opinion, that got me so emotionally invested. I don't know about any of y'all, but like, is that something that we could potentially get to? Because World Cup / World Series of Warzone, I feel like they're kind of the same, but not really.
Well, I felt like one of the biggest differences was the integration of the internals, because everyone to make it to that the finals for Fortnite, you had to do those in-game events, and there was like qualifying stage, the other stage, just cut it down. Only 2 people from NA, 2 people from NA West, 2 people from, and they had these multiple opportunities to make that 100-player lobby. And I think that the one big miss is obviously COD when they did World Series of Warzone, that out of game thing, which ended up being kind of a mess the first time around.
Yeah.
The second time, I think it was a little bit better, but it was still a mess compared to, oh, you log into the game during this window on this playlist and it tracks everything automatically. Like, and we can see the leaderboard in game. Like, I don't know what the infrastructure is on that, but Fortnite did that smoothly. And they reutilize that same technology to do their cash cups, because that's literally what the tournaments are. The cash cups are the same format in terms of rankings, stats. You could see the leaderboard for everyone in the world. So I don't know.
So, I mean, I've seen so many competitors, and chat, let me know what y'all think from a viewership standpoint. And even Rob and Shanice, like, I don't even know how this is feasible, right? If this is feasible, sorry. But in my opinion, bro, if we were to somehow be able to pull off cash cups, we know it's technically possible because they had GB integrated into certain other Call of Duties. So technically, I think it could be possible. Like that cash cups weekly, every other week, if they did a tournament, it's in like, bro, the amount of like hype that shit would get, I feel like would be insane. So why did Fortnite go from LAN's World Cup to now they just do cash cups? There's probably probably cost significantly less money.
The other thing too is I think they usually do it with skin association. So like if you win the certain cash cups, I think like you can win a skin, like whatever. Not like a random skin. Like you save $20 in the store. Yeah, you save like $20 in the store to get your skin. But so it's like a marketing material for the certain skins too.
Rob said that they did that back in the day with Call of Duty Elite. That was a while ago. So technically,
Xbox 360.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So technically, like, it's still possible. Like, it's possible, right? And if they were able to pitch that to the higher ups to be like, hey, cool to make this happen, with how much Call of Duty has grown from back then until now, especially with Warzone, like, I feel it would bring in a lot of viewers and a lot of, it would probably be a lot cheaper to do that. I don't know, right? Maybe, but like, I mean, if Fortnite did it from doing certain tournaments and they switched from doing that to cash cups, and even then it's not like an insane amount of money, but the fact that anybody can do it and now it kind of brings the community together, I think that'd be like way better. And then that might even help when it comes to hackers. You have to be a certain rank to be able to compete, and then whoever gets in the money, right? Whoever like is in the top 100, they can somebody just manually checks those 100 accounts. and see.
They
It's
get
like
extra scrutiny or whatever.
yeah, they check to see, hey, are these guys suspicious? No, are these guys? They run them through the fucking the thing, and it is what it is. I would personally, just in my opinion, Rob, I would not let the cheater situation, the hacker situation, stop them from doing things doing really cool
they have
things.
data on their end. I mean, like if you weren't streaming, you probably wouldn't even run into streamers hardly. I mean, cheaters.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, there's probably cheaters you run into because stream sniping. So it's kind of hard for you to gauge how many cheaters are actually in the game.
Yeah.
I've played plenty off stream and on stream. I don't think I've ran into like a legit, like actual cheater.
Crazy hack. I've run into a couple. Not, I'm gonna be honest.
But what percentage of those were stream sniping you?
Oh.
You'll never know.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never know because you were live.
Yeah. I mean, that, I'm gonna be honest. I feel, obviously there are, I'm not, again, because the community tends to just, it's all the way this way or all the way this way. I'm not saying that there's no hackers. I'm saying that compared to, let's say, last year, for me personally, I haven't really ran into an insane amount of hackers. Once in a while, sure. But like an insane amount of cheaters where like, like that, I haven't ran into that many, to be honest. But I mean, then there are these guys that go viral on TikTok that have this guy playing with a baby controller, cheating his ass off and, going viral, and nobody has caught him, and he's still there, Well,
no, I think they definitely get caught because they play on new accounts all the time. Because when you see them, it's like they use the gun. It's like level 2. Like clearly they didn't have everything unlocked.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I still think that'd be really cool if we did like an open bracket system like that, like Cash Cups. I think it'd bring a lot of viewers to the scene.
100%.
And I think it'd be really cool. I wouldn't let, in my opinion, like Rob, Janice, I wouldn't let the hackers kind of like stop you guys from trying it out and seeing, how it does. I think it'd be really cool. And now instead of right now, the competitive scene is this pool, right? Of people, it's everybody that watches Huskers, fucking Diaz, Aiden, right? Like, and now it broadens it to, everybody gets to try this. Anybody who has the game might just click on this tournament, might just be, oh, what's this about? Oh, let's try it out, right? Like, you never know, right? So obviously there's a reason why Fortnite does it, and maybe it's maybe it's profitable, not even profitable, but it doesn't cost as much resources. I don't know. Yeah, man, I guess I kind of want to move on to the next topic, bro. And that is the MVP race. MVP race for this year, guys. I know, again, chat, this is strictly content purposes, right? So don't get mad that your favorite streamer we don't talk about your favorite streamer or the person with the most viewership. We're talking about right now who's in contention for the #1 player in the game at the moment. And it's not always going to be the person who has the most amount earned, but more who has proven themselves to be consistently good. And I will say it is very, very hard to kind of critique this, which everybody will have different opinions.
So early.
Yeah, because we've had a bunch of fun tournaments and not really a lot of competitive tournaments, right? It's all been like, the bingo, Sadie Hawkins, the duos one, it's you can't play for 2 of the weeks, you couldn't play with your actual duo. Like, then we've only had technically one good tournament, or one big like competitive tournament. So, but I mean, let me just kind of go through this real quick, right? I'm not pocket watching or anything, but in my opinion, Skullface has kind of earned the right to be in contention for the #1 player at the moment. But he just so happens to be the one with the most money earned as well. So let me kind of give you guys the breakdown. $20,000 won optic in the optic 200K, one map one. $20,000 on the optic kickoff date map 4. $6,667 won in the overall 200K optic tournament. So with that tournament alone, he took roughly $47,000 home that one tournament. $46,000 in a matter of 2 days. Right, we're not
the fucking pot,
We're not done. Hold on, we're not done. Then the dojo. Again, I don't know if you want to count these because the dojo tournaments. I would say I'm not gonna really count those because they're not Activision funded tournaments. Again, we decided last year that we're not gonna go with like all the dojos, all the Twitter tournaments. We're not gonna give those. eFuse Community Showdown, $4,000. He took home $4,000. Their team earned $12K, and then $75K. Sadie Hawkins, he took home $12,500. So in the last month, right? Yes. I don't want to pocket watch. But it has been around, let's see, 47 plus 4, that's 51, 64.
It says it at the top, no?
64,000. Oh, does it?
Right?
Oh my God, I'm an idiot. $63,000 in the last month, chat. Skullface has taken home about $63,000 in prize pool tournaments, which is fucking insane to think about. And it's just been 1 month. It's been one fucking month. So
it's crazy. It's genuinely crazy. And I will say that, you know, earnings, like you were saying, doesn't paint the whole picture. But the fact that he won solo YOLO, like 2 of them, you know, that it's like, okay, you could win a solo YOLO, you know what I mean? But to win 2 is like, okay, he's doing something. Then to go on and win a 2v2 when he doesn't even play 2v2s is like, okay, you just won 2 different formats. And then you're also been doing really well in trios customs with Brett and Joe. You know, it's like, dude, that's insane. Like you're just doing it all. It's insane.
He has been, as far as for me right now, Skullface is the #1 player at the moment. And like, yes, we'll get into the top 5, but in my opinion, like Skullface, like Ebatez says, has done everything. Like he's done everything. He
separated himself from the pack, especially with that 2v2 win. I think that really like was like, okay, he's not just a customs player, he's not just a solos player. He just won a 2v2 against, you know, Soka and T and Shifty and Sally and, you know, FIFA and Ken's, like, right, like really solid teams. So typical for sure.
Yeah, I mean, somebody said, I mean, I'll explain this. But somebody said, but MVP is most valuable, right? Most valuable to whom? Should it not be the creator with the most following and most engagement? Are they not providing the most value, just MHO? So just, guys, when we say most valuable, first of all, your follower count, your all that shit means nothing. It doesn't matter. Most valuable player to the team, right? That is the MVP. Who's the most valuable player out of everybody competing right now? It doesn't matter if you're the biggest streamer in the world. If you're ass, you're ass. It is what it is. Like we're talking about the #1 player at the moment, who is the person that it is incredible right now. And I'm gonna be honest, Skullface takes it, right? JGOD, what's kind of your thoughts on Skullface and just in general?
No, I agree. I think, I mean, obviously we've known Skullface is good forever. Like, I think most people who know, like, been watching, like, more competitive know he's been good for a while, and he's kind of been overshadowed by his teammates at times. Yeah. And in this specific case, it was Hisoka. But even for the longest, Hisoka was overshadowed. Same thing. It's just like sometimes it happens, and inevitably you just have to win enough, and people give you credit. I think even in his case, him splitting off from that group kind of allows it to go, okay, is it him? It's kind of like that Brady situation, right? He goes to a different team, they win a Super Bowl. It's like, oh shit, maybe it wasn't all Belichick. You know, it's kind of one of those things that there is a dynamic where it is matter. It doesn't mean Belichick was bad. It's just like Hisoka's still amazing. It's not like Skullface made Hisoka and vice versa. Yeah. It's just they're both talented players and they got a chance to shine. I think he'll continue to shine. I think there's other players that are individually very talented. It's just like sometimes you get the right mesh of team and it works out. And he's killing it, which is good. Yeah. His viewership's on the rise. When you start winning tournaments, that helps. So, yeah.
I mean, look, man, like I guess that's kind of transition into the next topic. And it's like top 5 right now. Who is y'all's top 5? And if you would like to do in particular order, we can. I'm
not doing that.
It would spark a great debate.
I'm not doing that.
For which?
Yeah, for top 5 individual people. Top 5 individual players at the moment right now. You guys
in no order. I can do no order.
Okay.
So I'm going to say Hisoka still.
Okay.
Biffle, Shifty. I'm going to go ahead and say Skullface and the Adrian.
Yeah.
That is my 5. That's kind of great.
Yeah. I think everyone's on the same page there.
I think Soka, Shifty, Adrian, FIFA, Skull.
I would. Oh wait, maybe mine's different then. Or wait, I don't know. Let me name it.
Probably got one switched.
Wait.
Skull, Adrian, FIFA, Shifty,
you have
Soka.
FIFA.
I don't have Biffle in there.
Yeah, I think Skull. Yeah, Skull, Shifty, FIFA, Adrian. The thing is, it's 2v2s, right? Like, I mean, yeah, I think those are the top 5 right now. I think those are the top. Fuck, but then you have Bread. I mean, fuck, dude, the top 5 is so hard, bro.
Yeah, but Bread hasn't done enough, in my opinion, to say that he's better than any of those guys in the top 5. Love Bread, but he has not done enough to say that he's been better than any of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, hold on. Let me revalidate this. Okay, so we said Soka, right? He's had a little bit off and on. I feel like you know, the last couple tournaments. Let me fuck. Soka, Shifty's been fucking phenomenal for sure. Skullface, FIFA's been doing great. I think honestly, bro, I think you guys are right, and I'm not like I think. Has Soka done enough, you think, to put him in the top 5 right now? Like, if you look at his placement so far, like, if anything,
third in that co-ed 2v2 the other day.
If anything, Diaz has performed better. I would say though, in all his like average placements.
Like what? Like what? What has he played?
Well, all the tournaments, like all the last
what
4 or 5.
That's what I'm asking.
The 2v2s. The only thing he didn't play was Sadie Hawkins. At least I think right now. In my opinion, right? Because like, in my opinion, is Diaz who he was last year? As of right now, no. I don't think he's at that. I think if anything, he's number 5. Arguably, like if we have to have the conversation of is Diaz even in the top 5, I think that goes to show you that he's probably not like up there, right? But you have FIFA has been placing incredibly consistent in the last fucking month. I don't think I think it'd be criminal to not have him in there. I think obviously Skull has as well. Adrian won a tournament. I think he's been doing good. Who else are we missing? Shifty.
Yeah, you could flip flop Soka Biffle kind of in there. Maybe Brad kind of gets in that 7 spot.
I think the 3 people that you can kind of fluctuate. No, I think the fighting for 5th is Diaz or Soka. Right. I don't think there's anybody else out of those for the top 4 that have not really proven themselves. And I think even D has placed 2nd, 1st. But then when he played with Sage, they didn't do too hot, and then got 2nd or 3rd in another tournament. So his consistent one, his tournament placements have been consistent enough to put him in the top 5.
Sure.
I think people like Adrian have overshadowed him because maybe that's because he's new and because he won the tournament and a lot of people didn't expect him. You know, Frisky, I don't think Z-Laner's in the top 5 right now. Guys, just
it sounds crazy, but I think Shifty's kind of overshadowing Biffle right now, like where like they won that 2v2 together, and I feel like Shifty got a lot of the credit, you know what I mean? I think that's like also another issue is like why that's even Biffle's even in the debate of like not being top 5.
Yeah, I agree.
You could put either though, Soka or Biffle easily in the top 5.
I definitely think Shifty is better than D right now, and he was better than him last year too. Like Shifty is insane. The top 5, it sucks because right now, chat, this is recency biased.
With or without EQ cheese? No, just lying. I'm just messing.
Everything plays. Artist War audio plays.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm just messing.
There's a lot of good players, chat, and it's funny when we have these top 5 discussions, right? Because a lot of people are gonna have their different opinions, right? I think I think at the very least, Skull. What happened? What?
The chat.
Oh, what did they say?
FIFA.
FIFA unofficial number 1. That's crazy. But I think
crazy.
If you look at the average placements, what did FIFA place in the trios tournament? The 100K optic.
Oh, Shifty's in the chat. Perfect. Shifty, help us out here.
He placed 5th, right? So or 4th. So Diaz and Shifty outplaced them. What did he place in the first 2v2? What did he place in the first 2v2, Chad? The first phase one. I know Diaz and Sage didn't do hot in that one. Shifty, how did Shifty do in that one? I know Adrian and Aiden won it. I don't think they got far in that one, right? Or am I faded? Chad, does anybody know?
Dude, it's hard. Those Fourth Friday mans are tough. There's only so many good teams.
Yeah.
Not to be rude again, but it just, like I said, we're mixing the content creators with like really, really good teams.
Yeah, chat, Sage, just so you guys know, Sage got engaged. So he hasn't really been participating in a lot of tournaments at the moment.
Big W too. Huge congrats to them.
Plus the ping would be insane.
Well, he's actually here now.
Oh, he is. Okay. Yeah. I was like, bro's going to be on 280.
Yeah, and then FIFA won that one. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, man. I think again, people can say what they want. I think for real, like my top 5, Shifty, D, Skull, Thief, and Adrian. Top 5. I would remove Soka from there. You could replace.
Yeah, that's kind of how I have it, but I have I think FIFA probably 6, and they could swap in and out.
I'm not in the
Like
top 5,
with that group.
Oh shit!
Am I washed, bro? Am I washed?
Maybe.
Shit.
I'll take
Maybe.
top 5 with a 0 at the end, though, buddy.
Go back to Fortnite, buddy.
No, this guy said go back to Fortnite, buddy.
Yo, what? Oh, that's not. Oh, I'm out of here.
That's Aiden. That's Aiden, bro.
That's
That's
toxic.
Aiden, bro. Bro, hey, hop on the pod, pops. No, we're about to finish anyways. Oh shit! Is it started?
Can I get my top 5?
Yeah, go ahead. Your top 5. Who's your top 5?
Okay, so I heard you talking about Soka. To be fair, I think Soka and Shifty probably the most. I would say they're probably the best duo right now, but I feel like they haven't had their opportunity. Like Soka hasn't really had his opportunity. I feel like in 2v2s to like get with his teammate and stuff. You know what I mean? He's usually getting picked up by someone that like gets a spot and needs someone. So I'm gonna throw Soka, Shifty, Adrian. Ah man.
More.
I low key. I want to put FIFA. Oh man, wait, free FIFA and Skull, dude.
FIFA Skull, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same as you though. Like I feel like D. I kind of want to put like D and A in the same spot.
The thing is, like, I think D hasn't been individually performing that great.
Yeah. But
like, okay, let's be honest. He's been performing good, but what I expect from D is S tier player.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's been performing like an A tier player recently. So, but his placements, you can't deny his placements. He like third, first, or third, second, first in the last 3 tournaments that he's played. So like, you know, I don't know.
I feel like if we're just talking off like placements and stuff, yeah, probably got to throw FIFA and Skull in there, and then I would say D is
D
like
6th.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like I feel like Soka's probably like 5th or whatever, and D's like 6th. What's up, baby?
Yeah, I would put, in my opinion, I would put D over Soka.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. You can't deny the placements.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
What do you think as a duo?
Is it duo?
As a duo, audio players. Damn, he's calling out the art of war cheese. As a duo, who do you think is better, Soka and Shifty or D and Shifty?
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah, you guys have some real Diaz Biffle glazers.
Like, I don't know. They haven't really like. I'd probably say never played D and Shifty besides like no buyback. I don't know. They're kind of just all the same. Like I feel like it's kind of the same thing.
The same? You think they're kind of on par?
Oh no, I feel like Soka's more passionate than D though. Like he probably brings it out of, you know, D's probably just like, I guess we gotta win another tournament, whatever. And Soka's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Like it probably, I low key think that you're right, that Soka probably brings out.
I think he brings out a little bit more of the passion for Shifty.
Yeah.
So passion prevails, man. Fucking
Hell boys. Oh man, bro. Later, Bobby.
Y'all look good. Hey, Ebatez, you look good. Jay, you look good, man. Y'all look good.
Love you, Pops.
I love this man, bro. Listen, bro. Hey, Chad, y'all some fucking glazers, bro. Because if I mention anything about D, and if he's not in the top 5, or no, if I put him in my top 5, y'all say I'm glazing. But then if I say he hasn't been doing the best, y'all say fucking asshole, horrible friend, motherfucker. We have to keep it $150 here, all right? So, hey, listen, no fucking glazing. We just keep it honest here. All right, motherfuckers?
Biffle Army is crazy. I experienced that like 2 months ago.
Hey, there's no winning.
Insane.
There's no winning, bro. There's no winning, man. You know, fuck, man. But yeah, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, those are the top 5 at the moment, right? I think the only people that you can kind of take out is Soka, Adrian, maybe FIFA. Those are the ones that are kind of floating. I guess D as well, but I think Skull for sure is solidified up there. I don't know, bro. Loyalty over everything, dude. Crumbles, this is the podcast about the top 5 players. I'm loyal to fucking the boys, but I'm not gonna say Rampage is the best in the world, bro.
No, yeah. It seems like all of us two are like pretty much on the same page, which is good.
Yeah.
Especially Aiden, who like wasn't even listening and then came down and he kind of like.
Well, I
was
think
like,
6, the first 6 for sure. Like if we did 6,
yeah,
all of our lists would be the same.
All of us for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see, chat. Again, these are going to move. Like as the year progresses. We have not seen true fucking trios. We have not seen like even true duos, to be honest, man. Again, like for example, if Soka like gets a captain spot, him and Shifty, I don't know if it would be him and Shifty or Diaz and Shifty. I don't even know what that would look like, but like that shit would be, I don't know, I don't know.
I think if Soka got a spot, I think it's Soka Shifty.
You think so?
They've talked about it on stream. Like, yeah, like Shifty's my duo, Soka's my duo.
Yeah,
like
I mean, Shifty just asked who's our number one. Shifty, you probably missed the pod earlier. As solidified, we could talk about the MVP race at the moment. In my opinion, right now, MVP number one right now is Skullface. At least in my opinion.
That's like crazy. Wait, Skull left Shifty and Soka and became number one? That's insane. Dang,
I mean, bro, the thing is, man, it's like you have to think about it like this. Like, you have to think about it like this. It's like Skullface. You can put Skullface on any team and they are going to get better. It doesn't matter. Like, he is a fryer, but he also is big fucking brain. You put him on any team. I can ask any team right now, would you drop your trio for Skullface? And 99% of the player base will say yes.
It's funny when we were talking about roster manias, I literally was like, yo, listen, Soka's going to miss Skullface. And like, you know what I mean? He just kind of started popping off. It's crazy. But I do know Soka definitely misses Skull. Given the whole situation, it all made sense. Yeah. But I was like, yo, Soka's going to miss Skullface. And we're seeing that right now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I hope that we have a Soka comeback, because I'm gonna be honest, this is my personal opinion. I love it when Soka is in contention to win. Whenever he's not in contention to win, I feel like it's not as entertaining. But that's because Soka loves being the villain. He loves it.
Yeah,
like
he loves it.
He breathes for being the villain, right? And I love it when he's on top, because I'm gonna be honest, it lights a fire in everybody's ass. It really does. So I hope that Soka, you know, they've had a couple. I'm not gonna say it's just him, right? It's not just him, right? It's had a couple. He hasn't had the best. Like, I don't want to say that, but he hasn't had a captain spot for a lot of tournaments, so he doesn't get them, right? Chat, y'all are horny, bro. He said you love it when he's on top. What?
That is insane.
So again, chat, there's a lot of people that are good, but we're talking about the top 5, and to be top 5 in the game right now, you have to be out of the top 100 players in the world, you have to be fucking top 0.01% or whatever the fuck, right? 5%, whatever the fuck. So again, these are our hypothetical answers at the moment. This is not what's going to be at the end of the year, because I promise you, whenever the trio customs start to come out, things are going to change. Real quick, I feel like kind of wrapping up the podcast for the day. Boys, let's talk about and this is for everybody here who loves competitive Warzone, which if you're here, more than likely you do. We have something really, really interesting going on this Sunday. And I don't know if JD, you want to clip this, but Ebatez, do you kind of want to describe it? You want me to describe it? I don't care. Yeah, I don't want to be yapping, just yapping, you know?
So I think a huge issue right now is that a lot of competitors are frustrated. We get into tournaments and, you know, first game, it's like, hey, is that banned? Is that banned? Can I use this? Is this banned? Oh, wait, I thought portable radars were allowed today. And there's like just a lot of frustration. So I figured, why not get all the competitors in a call and we kind of just vote on what we want banned and what we don't. It's not going to be like whatever we vote on is 100% the rule set, but more so to just kind of get like a data driven thing that like, oh, 70% of competitors said they don't want flares, or 70% said they do want flares. You know what I mean? So it's just, we're basically just going to get a lot of the competitors, a lot of the creators in a call so that we can all kind of just voice our own opinion on what we want for competitive and hopefully in the future competitive.
Yeah. So chat, just to kind of summarize that, we're putting together a Discord and we're going to have a podcast on Sunday, pretty much creating a competitive rule set. Now, does this mean that this is going to be the rule set that everybody follows from now on? No, but from going forward from Sunday on, they can never say that we didn't give them what the community wants, what the community standardized rule set is. So we created, we're going to create, I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, Chad, you guys remember Aches rules back in S&D/variant. I'm pretty sure that was a long time ago. We're making Pullze Check rules. I don't know, we'll call it something, I don't know, but it's pretty much going to be a community driven, pretty much all the best competitors all in a Discord talking about what should be in 2v2s, what shouldn't, what should be in customs, what shouldn't. This rule set, do we want match point? Yes or no? Do we want flares? Do we want buybacks? Do we want everything that we feel like should be in or out of the game? We're going to have them vote on yes or no. Now, I will say there needs to be a fine line between banning fucking everything, to where it becomes boring to watch. Again, remember this for all the competitors in here. I'll say it again on Sunday. The most important thing is viewership. I do not want to make things that are like a rule set that is so restrictive on things that it becomes boring to watch, you know? So that's the biggest thing, is we want to try to make something good. So we're going to ban like we're going to ban an umbrella of things. For example, do we ban redeploys, redeploys, flares, and gulag tokens? Do those be a banned thing that comes out, you know? Like from thing,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
Yeah, and let me add on to that too. The goal of this too is to eliminate where we're not setting limits on things. So, for example, one sniper per team. I mean, it's just it creates a lot of like issues. I even saw people were like, well, what if you made it so you can only have one flare per team? It's like that is just makes everything so much more competitive. It's black and white. We're getting saying yes, there's flares, or no, there's flares. No, one per team, no nonsense like that, because it just gets messy.
We can't.
That's when we just can't.
I forgot.
Like the goal, chat. Remember this. Like the goal would be to have them implement this rule set into ranked, into World Series of Warzone, because we know there are two, right? That is the goal, and there's no way for them to say like making their game only one sniper per team. I don't think they're gonna like Activision will go out of their way to do something like that. Like, so we have to give them, okay, do you want snipers? Should snipers be a part of competitive? Yes or no?
Right. It's black or white, because
like,
even in tournaments where we have tournaments right now that are one LMG per team, I come back from the gulag, my teammate has his loadout LMG, and I find ground loot, and I'm like, do you have an LMG? Like, it's stupid. So no, like Hector said, we're doing it very straightforward. There's no questions. If whatever you have, you can use, basically.
And again, chat, this is going to be decided by we're not saying, again, if you, let's say, for example, snipers. I think snipers will be the most controversial thing in the podcast that we have. A lot of people hate, like I'm telling you, like there's at least from what I've noticed, there's a small majority of people that like snipers, and there's a big majority of people, even viewers, that hate watching competitive sniping. I'm not talking about we're not talking about snipers in pubs, chat. We're talking about sniper, like everybody can hit their shots at the top level. So I don't know what's gonna happen, chat. We're gonna let the competitors decide, but based off the first Optic trios tournament, everybody was complaining about one-shot snipers, and that's that only one team or one player was allowed to use a sniper, only one, and even then they said it was too much. So I think we're gonna have to see how that goes on Sunday. And again, we're not saying, guys, that this is gonna be the competitive rule set that they make forever. This is just we want to put it out there of what competitors actually want. You know?
Yeah, we want to start the conversation basically of like, here's where we're at as competitors, and I guess what we see as viewers too.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. Again, chat, there's a lot of people like, oh, like, what about Breadman? What about all these guys? Like, and it's just like, bro, like, just because, let's say if we do ban snipers, Breadman is still, you guys are underestimating Breadman. Just because he doesn't have a sniper doesn't mean that he's gonna be ass. You guys are faded. That man is gonna be goated no matter what the fuck he uses. So it is what it is, man. Chat, again, at the end of the day, the competitors' opinions as far as like when it comes to competitive rule set matters a lot. And I'm gonna be honest, guys, unless you guys have played in these top 100, 250 player lobbies where like it's insane, you won't know how crazy it is. Because yeah, sniping's fun, it's a great thing to do, but when it comes to like when everybody can hit their shots, it really does suck when you have the best rotation, the best fucking positioning, and then something happens and you get one shot sniped. It's just hard. It's just hard, it is what it is. But again, who cares what I think? Who cares what Ebatez think? Who cares what JGOD thinks? It's up to the players to decide.
Right.
The players are gonna decide this, and then we'll go from there.
This isn't one person making the rules. This is going to be a collective thing that we take data from. So
this will be on Sunday, guys. More than likely around 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll get all of the competitors involved in that. And again, if anybody qualified for London and you want to be a part of this, let us know, please, because we're gonna try to get as many people in there and have a unanimous vote. And if, for example, there's only 10 teams in there, well, it's not that you know, it's not that good to you know.
Also, let me say this: competitors from EU, we understand it's going to be late, but if you guys want to be a part of it, just plan your day out for that. I know it's late, and I'm sorry, we just can't, you know, work around everybody. But make sure if you guys want to be a part of that, if you're in Europe, you know, you'll have to just sleep in or something. You know, I know it sucks, but we want you guys in there, especially the European players. I don't want them feeling like they're left out, because I do know that they are generally left out of a lot of things. So
yeah. So chat. So we're gonna have to wait and see for that. That is gonna be on Sunday or on 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm gonna aim for 7, chat. I mean, and if we can do earlier, but again, I will be traveling for a 4-hour drive that day. So I'm gonna try to get home and then ASAP stream. So that's gonna be fun, man. But boys, I mean, today was a good little pod. Good little pod going over everything, man. How it wasn't short, to be honest. I think we did a good job talking about everything we needed to talk about. What's kind of y'all's I guess to conclude today's podcast, I guess I'll start. I'm just looking forward to next week, man. Next week we have season 1.5. We're gonna have all the changes to what pretty much Champions Quest or nukes are back. There are gonna be a lot of changes to the nukes, new guns, a lot of weapon rebalancing. We definitely will have a podcast on that next week. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for that. Boys, kind of closing thoughts.
Multiplayer ranked is coming, which is exciting. I'm sure a lot of the Warzone guys are gonna hop over there. It'll be just a good change of things, you know. Oh, like, let's go play Warzone or multiplayer ranks. My bad, multiplayer ranked. And then you're like, oh, we're grinding nukes. This is kind of getting like, we just got a nuke. Let's go play multiplayer ranked. It'll just be a good balance of things. So that's exciting.
What about you, JGOD?
I'm looking forward to see what happens. Obviously, we do have the rank stuff. That'll be good. Zombies has a minimal update. Shouldn't take long to cover that. And then Warzone has like a bunch of randomness.
Big.
We got the nighttime gulag potentially randomly happening. We have the exfil stuff, the weapons case, which I think people might utilize that. And then we also have the nuke. But I think the weapons case could be like I don't know. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot. That weapons case, I think a lot of people are kind of opposed to it. I will say it is going to be weird having less players on the map technically, but I know Teddy had tweeted out and said that he thinks that less than one team per game is going to get it. So I guess it'd be really hard.
I mean, it's like,
is that the
realistically,
yeah, covert exfil.
Yeah.
But yeah, realistically, it's probably going to be hell of expensive, and it'll probably scale depending on the mode. Imagine you needed like 25,000 in solos and then like 100K in quads.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work.
It's hell of expensive. There's no way people are just gonna be doing it randomly, and people are gonna get contested. You think they're gonna see a chopper come in the map and just let that shit go for free? Like, there's no way.
Nah, I'm about to be camping those things.
It's a free kill.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that there's a common misconception, chat, is that the exfil will end the game. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna end the game. It won't end the game, chat. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. It'll just be like whatever. Like if it's really that hard to do, and maybe it'll increase maybe engagements. I will say, at least for me, I feel like definitely there needs to be an increase in engagements. I'm going to continue to if it never gets changed, I'll do it every podcast. 120 player count would be amazing. Yeah, but I don't think they'll do it, to be honest. I don't, unless the whole community starts raving about 120. Chat, just so you guys know, they really do take Twitter feedback serious. They have a whole fucking room filled with Twitter feedback and how they grab player sentiment.
Yeah, I think they see all kinds of stuff. Reddit, they look at comments, they see streams, they have tabs open. They're looking at what content creators are saying. We're seeing how the chat like says what they say. I mean, there's a lot.
And I'm gonna be honest, if not enough people are complaining about it on Twitter, or like not even complaining, but saying they don't like it on Twitter, they won't change anything. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Maybe we're the minority. Maybe I am the minority. Who knows, bro? They didn't touch MTZ. I mean, that's the crazy part. D, we talked about it. It's like, bruh, how did that slip through the cracks? I don't know. Again, I hope they can just fucking. They got, in my opinion, I said it at the beginning of the podcast, and I'll end it with this: is they should never be scared to nerf shit to the ground. Because if we've been using something for 1 month and it's been like, it's gone to okay, dude, this is insane. Like, come on, like, then we don't want minimal nerfs. Just nerf it to the ground and then slowly bring it back up. It's okay, you know? But I don't know, that's kind of my opinion, boys. But that's it for me. That's it for me. I've been yapping today. But anything else, boys, before we close? I'm really excited for next week. Season 1.5, Season 1 Reloaded should be really fun. And there's also some new changes to quality of life. So I hope that there's some dope shit that we can add to that. Anything, boys? Anything before we close?
Nothing from me, man.
Okay, JGOD, what about you, puppy?
No, I'm good. I'm ready. Excited. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the new guns are awesome.
Bring back the AMAX.
To run.
Bring back the AMAX, chat. All right, man, chat. Anybody on YouTube or at Twitch, at home, Spotify, wherever it is that you listen to, thank you so much for tuning into the Pullze Check podcast. We'll catch you guys. Next podcast should be Sunday with the creating the competitive world series or creating the competitive rule set for Warzone, chat. So guys, I'll catch you guys on Sunday, and then after that, we're gonna be doing the new update, which is the V5s, chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the podcast, baby. We'll catch you later, baby. Peace.